Weinstein, exceptions were made.
The K2 operatives dug deep and found gold. It was embarrassing information about Amber's past in Italy. And when Weinstein received it, he couldn't wait to start leaking it.
The New York Post then went after the Italian model with the story, Secret Life of Harvey's Shy Accuser. The paper saying that she once filed a sexual assault suit against a 70-year-old, quote, sugar daddy.
It lasted for like a week. Everything was about me being a blackmailer, me being a prostitute. They were asking me questions like, are those news real? Like, you were a prostitute? They were questioning me like I was a predator or something. Guys, I mean, I'm the victim.
Weinstein's muckraking worked. The New York District Attorney suddenly got nervous about proceeding with the case and decided Amber's past legal issues made her a problematic witness.
Why yesterday you touched my breast?
I'm used to that.
The DA also now found the secret recording of Weinstein did not prove any criminal intent. There would be no charges laid.
He seemed really powerful, and he was, and he did everything in his power to keep that. And it's really terrifying how it happened, and that people let it happen, and that people were trying to cover up this massive, well, I was about to say secret, but it wasn't a secret.
Coming up, special agents target Rose McGowan.
A woman became her friend, and it was all completely fake.
Plus, the Aussie who helped Weinstein dig dirt.
Why would you want to do that for an accused rapist?
And the shocking evidence.
You're an Australian. You'd be familiar with the term scumbag.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
I don't think people knew the extent of what this man was capable of.
How did Hollywood's worst predators...
They pretended to be people they weren't. And right there, you're not allowed to do that.
We look at details of the contract that was leaked. We're talking about 600,000 US plus 300,000 for a bonus for success rates plus.
Yeah.
Big money.
If your entire reputation rests on success in this, then if you're someone as wealthy as Harvey Weinstein, and if you look at what his legal fees would be, many, many millions of dollars, this is the kind of money that you would want to pay.
And so by being outed, is that a disaster?
Yeah, this did not go well for the Black Cube, and that's unfortunate for them. But I'm glad it happened because it does expose what I view as an unethical way of fact-finding, and it's never good for the business when someone really bad gets really famous.
But as it turned out, it was all very good business for Australian journalist Dylan Howard. He's a former Channel 7 reporter who, after being sacked by the network, moved to Hollywood to mix with the rich and famous. He's now the chief content officer at American Media Inc., an organisation that boasts esteemed mastheads like the National Enquirer and US Weekly. We caught up with Dylan on a cold New York morning on his way into the office.
G'day, Dylan Howard. Liam Bartlett, 60 Minutes Australia, Dylan.
I know exactly who you are, Liam. You're an absolute icon and champion of the industry.
Dylan Howard used his position at AMI to dispatch reporters to dig dirt on Rose McGowan, information that he then passed on to Harvey Weinstein. In one instance, one of Howard's reporters approached the ex-wife of movie director Robert Rodriguez and confirmed that Rodriguez had had an affair with Rose McGowan. It's embarrassing and very private information, but Dylan Howard is straight onto Weinstein via email.
I have something amazing. Eventually, she laid into Rose pretty hard.
The Australian appears keen to please and reassures Weinstein that none of the skullduggery can be traced back to him.
This is the killer, especially if my fingerprints are not on this.
They are not, and the conversation is recorded.
Can we talk about the work that you've been doing for your friend Harvey Weinstein?
I've been doing absolutely no work for Harvey Weinstein.
Well, you've been digging the dirt.
No.
On Weinstein's accusers. Why have you been doing that?
Our responses have been well articulated about exactly.
Well, can you talk to me about that?
You can actually read our responses.
Dylan Howard says he's done nothing wrong. He says he was dealing with Harvey Weinstein as part of a television production agreement, which has since been terminated. But incredibly, he also admits that none of the information his journalist gathered on Rose McGowan was ever intended to be published, which begs the question, why was it gathered in the first place?
Why would you want to do that for an accused rapist?
Nobody knew he was an accused rapist.
You're an Australian, come on. You'd be familiar with the term scumbag. Dylan?
He tasks his journalists with digging the dirt on Rose McGowan and then passes it in emails that have been uncovered to Weinstein. And then says later in his defence, we were never going to print the story. We would never have used that sort of information to publish, which makes it even weirder, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just reprehensible. Now, I not only can't support that, but it goes against everything that we want out of our journalists.
Safe to say it's a hard action for Dylan Howard to defend.
I don't know how he would defend it.
Ironically, Dylan Howard has faced his own sexual harassment allegations by women in 2 separate companies he's worked for, including American Media Inc.
You've had problems yourself with sexual harassment allegations, haven't you? 2 different...
He denies all the allegations.
Are all those women wrong? But why would you help Weinstein? Can you explain that to me?
In October 2017, the decades of abuse and cover-up came crashing down on Harvey Weinstein.
The fall from grace for movie mogul Harvey Weinstein keeps getting worse.
The New York Times reporting allegations by numerous women. New revelations about the great lengths he allegedly went to silence his accusers.
He was fired from his own company, and the Attorney General of New York launched legal action. Though he denies all allegations of non-consensual sex, he's been in therapy in Arizona and says he's hopeful for a comeback.
I gotta get help, guys. You know what? We all make mistakes. Second chance, I hope, okay?
That's if he manages to avoid prison.
Weinstein's statement says that you have a wild imagination.
Yes.
Essentially, they're saying you're a fiction writer. What do you expect?
Right, but if he's denied all of the allegations, and there must be like 80 to 100 women at this point. So then if everyone's making that up, I mean.
Would you like to see him go to jail?
I think I would. The whole thing is really sad. But what he did was so wrong to so many women. I'm still afraid of him.
Do you think he's finished?
I hope so.
You should have never trusted Hollywood.
Coming up, cricket star Usman Khawaja is